The moon represents the emotional responses, unconscious predestination, and self-image. The moon represents emotions, and the moon sign shows how a person expresses themselves when at home, at ease, and comfortable. The moon is in Leo characteristics. Depending on other positions in the chart, moon in Leo people is not necessarily outgoing. When they feel comfortable, they do like being the center of attention. That is, they like being in the spotlight in the comfort of their own homes and with family and friends. They enjoy entertaining others and often take on the role of the comic. Lunar Leos often feel a need to organize, and even control, their families and friends. They have an inner mission to set things right, and generally like to oversee the goings-on in their little circle. This is a rather creative position of the moon. At the very least, moon in Leo people wants to create and entertain. They can be rather lazy at times, and a little bossy too. Generally, though, they have a deep need to treat others fairly and justly. Lunar Leos require lots and lots of love and care in order to function well in the world. When they feel slighted, these people can be dramatic in their emotional displays. When their pride has been hurt, they are given to big scenes and sulking. This rarely happens in public, however. Lunar Leos are far too concerned about their image to make splashy scenes outside the comfort of their own homes. In public, they prefer to take things in dignified ways. At home, however, they're given to big displays of emotional drama. These scenes generally don't last too long, however. Lunar Leos are often personally popular folk who are valued for their integrity and a strong sense of justice. Generally, it is easy to reason with a lunar lion. Appealing to their well-developed sense of fairness usually works well. Short description: he is brave, knows how to take risks and possesses the courage of his convictions, honest, imposing, and sharp. He has a great sense of, and respect for, justice. Organizational sense. Selectivity with friends but is not overly influenced by them. Taste for splendor. While you have a strong need for emotional security, you are also a person who is drawn to pushing your own limits, and many lifestyle changes can be the result of this need to challenge or reinvent yourself emotionally. You are always fascinated with how people work, taboos, secrets, and all that is forbidden or hidden. Sexual unrest or an apparent need to constantly change sexual partners or to challenge yourself sexually may be a symptom of emotional insecurity. Connecting with another person intimately is an emotional need, but your changeable emotions might often get in the way of your goal. Jealousy and possessiveness might also be qualities you struggle with. At your best, however, you are a person who is intimate, deep, and intensely loyal to a partner. Because you value harmony, you may find yourself giving in to others too easily, especially in the first half of life. Resentment is possible, as you can feel that you are the one who seems to do all the acquiescing. There can be a distinct tendency to become friends, and lovers, with people too readily, simply because there is a strong need for approval and hunger for receiving affection. As such, you may get involved with people who seem to really like you, and you fail to consider whether you actually like them back. It's somewhat of a weakness, as you are very charmed by the idea that someone seems to really like and appreciate you. Generally, one of your life's lessons is to learn to discriminate more and to get in touch with what you truly want and need. The functions of the moon, which rules the emotions and feelings, amongst other things, and the functions of Venus, which rules social relationships, harmony, and partnership, amongst other things, are at cross purposes. When you attempt to feed the needs of one function, it is often at the expense of the other, until you find some sort of balance. This can play out in a variety of ways. For example, there can be conflicts in partnerships about parenting or whether or not to have a family. You may find yourself compromising your own emotional needs in order to find and keep love. Peace and harmony are important to you, perhaps too much so, as you can easily be taken advantage of. Insecurity is something that you need to deal with at some point in your life. Very sensual, you sometimes replace love with food or shopping. You can also be quite sexually active and sometimes quite lustful. You possess a distinct lazy streak. You are capable of working hard, but you truly appreciate luxuriating and enjoying as many pleasures as possible, and self-discipline simply isn't always at your disposal. While he is usually sweet and gracious, he can also be constant and capricious at times, possessing a changeable nature. A varied love life, ups and downs, unusual ideas.